Hello, viewers, and welcome to the latest episode of The Huddle. Tim Pool here of Gaming Insider and Gaming America, and I'm with Brian Uran, Vice President of Product at OPTX. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Nice to talk to you here.
Yeah, always like talking to someone from OPTX. We've spoken to Brooke in the past, to Steve, and there's always, very interesting kind of technological ideas at play. To start off with, can you tell us a little bit about your career journey and obviously there was some kind of sports in there. There's a long period at live casinos before you came to OPTX as well.
Yeah, I started my gaming career at live casinos, and I actually started off as an intern. I studied casino gaming at UNLV. I grew up in the Las Vegas Valley, and I always sort of had an interest in casinos. Studied it at UNLV, and to complete my degree, I needed an internship. And I happen to know a family member involved with the live casino projects from the ground up. I was maybe the third or fourth team member on the payroll as an intern, and just learning everything to know about casinos while I was finishing my degree at UNLV. Learned how to open a casino, learned how to operate a casino, held various roles at lots of different roles at live casino. Started off in slots mostly, slot operations, slot analytics, slot technical. And then moved over to marketing, where I spent the vast majority of my career mostly in database marketing, but sometimes taking detours to oversee things like a players club or promotions. But most of the time in database marketing, and then finally at the end of my career at live casinos, um, held two separate roles at VP of marketing, one at our casino that's outside of Pittsburgh, and one that was at their casino in Philadelphia. So long career with live. And that's actually my only experience in the gaming industry other than my school studies and now obviously being at Optics.
hmm it's quite a cool journey, though. You can officially say from intern to VP, and,
Yeah,
and and perhaps beyond in the future. Obviously at OPTX now, how's life at this company?
it's great. I one of my passions and one of the reasons why I was a good asset to the live casino teams is my passions are in technology and in improving customer journeys and really trying to figure out what the best way to target and talk to our customers are, especially when I was in my marketing roles. And that's the kind of stuff that I get to focus on exclusively at Optics. Not to say that it doesn't come with its own challenges, it certainly does, but from a passion standpoint, it aligns really well with the things that I care about and the things that I'm pretty good at. And so, it's a good combination of things to have at a job and at a company for me.
Yeah, I mean, technology obviously these days plays a part in all fields, but in gambling and in gaming, we're seeing, a real acceleration of technology, and not just for digital, for land-based casinos especially. As we head into the second half of this year, of 2024, what are your kind of main day-to-day focuses at Optics?
Yeah, a lot of it is about a journey that we're on with optics, and we are taking day-to-day steps to get closer and closer to that journey and our goal is to put software in the hands of operators that can help them make better decisions and have more meaningful human interactions. And what I mean by that is, a lot of people are afraid of introducing too much technology and, too much AI into the casino space because a lot of what the casinos were built on was on interpersonal relationships. And our job at Optics is to deliver software that actually makes the interpersonal relationships more meaningful and more powerful. Not that we're going to replace the entire host team or the entire, customer service team with a bunch of robots. That's not our goal. And so we take day-to-day steps of tweaking our platform to achieve that goal and adding new product lines to achieve that goal, as well as, we can't forget about our current customers that have current day needs as well. And we take their feedback of our current product and things that we can do to improve. Um, and we build those into the product too. And so that's my main day-to-day focus is how do we balance the vision of optics to be this hub for really great decision making and automation and integrations, as well as sometimes we just need to add a product or a feature to the product that doesn't necessarily align with that, but it's really important to our current set of customers.
I think that message of AI not replacing humans and and so enhancing almost the human interaction is something definitely your colleagues and perhaps other companies in the industry or across the world have echoed as well, because naturally there is always that initial fear of AI. Okay, what are we doing here? Are we needed? But of course we're at least nowhere near that stage yet in terms of the kind of development.
Yeah, I think AI can take on responsibilities where we don't have humans right now,
Hmm.
and I'll give you a good example of that. There are probably at every single casino operation in America a large swath of customers that sit just below the threshold of eligible to have a host. And right, the host is the epitome of the interpersonal relationship that we've just been talking about. And there's probably a lot of people that sit right below that threshold that we just can't assign to a host because of lack of human capital within our own organizations. That's where I think AI can really help. Is
Hmm.
now we can have, I won't say this, and I don't mean this directly, but an AI host where that we can really like enhance the experience of that level of customer with our lack of human capital using AI. So we're not interested. We don't really view ourselves as a human replacement, but augmentation where human is not available, or to make the human's job a little bit easier.
Sure. You mentioned product generally. Obviously, you're the VP of product. If we're to narrow down to the different products that you have, what's kind of currently your pride and joy, your kind of best performers that you're always talking to customers about?
Yeah, so like me personally coming into optics, I obviously have a background in database marketing and slots. And so those are the two or three actually with our dispatch product. Those are the two products that I really latched onto in terms of immediate ideas, immediate thoughts on how we could improve, how we could tweak, and future visions for those products. And so I really have a passion for those two products. As far as our best performers, optics, I think, is best in class for our host product. The Brooke, our founder, comes from that world and has 3 or 4 years of building really, really advanced and great PD tools into optics. Um, but we really have one of the most robust, if not the most robust, portfolio of products that's out there in our class. And like I said, I really got excited about the prospect of coming on board and really working on the marketing and slots products. And those are my passions, those are my backgrounds. That's what I'm good at. Those are the operators that I like talking to. I love talking to operators that have really challenging and unique ways of thinking about the business in those two verticals. And so, um, but we have, up to a 10 product suite. When you consider all of our different AI verticals, all dispatch vertical, enterprise stuff, we have a pretty full suite and growing soon.
Um, you mentioned kind of your passion for slots and things like that. When it comes to a casino's VIP business, I understand there's certain ways you can perhaps tell us about the optics can really help impact specifically within that area.
Yeah, we have a really great, as I mentioned, that's a really great VIP product. And, a lot of our teams that we're coming into have really good host programs. What they don't have is something to manage the whole process. And what I mean
Mm.
by that is like when I talk to them, they have really good, robust host coding rules. They have a great host incentive program. They have really good targeted um, contact list. You need to contact 80% of your book every month. But what they don't have is a way to create accountability for any of that, or to track any of that, or and certainly not automate any of that. They're tracking these things through spreadsheets, and they're tracking these things through manual processes. And having a tool like Optics really has unlocked a lot of our customers. And in fact, there's a case study out there that talking about a set of Northeastern casinos that has taken Optics and really used Optics to drive their VIP business to a level that far surpasses the rest of their business growth. And it's by using tools like Optics to create automation, to create accountability, to create automated processes that lets them focus on their VIP business and that human contact rather than thumbing down an Excel spreadsheet and using highlighter to mark off everybody that I've called. You know, it's really not it's really not hard work, but a lot of our properties that before they purchase process don't have tools to help them manage the work and understand where they are with a relationship with regards to relationships with their customers. And so we have that. We also have our AI models that really help our customers pluck out the best 10 or 20 players to contact that day that are opportunities for revenue generation or opportunities for stemming off potential revenue loss. And we deliver these contacts to these customers every single day, to these hosts every single day for them to call. And every day they make 10 phone calls and with the goal of generating a high level of incremental revenue. And we have reports and case studies and papers out there that prove the results of this model. And so we have a combination of both things. One, we've improved processes and we've made jobs easier and we've created accountability for hosts and host managers to track their team's progress against goals. And with our AI model, we're presenting new revenue opportunities that didn't exist before. And so the combination of both of those things really have unlocked some really great user stories around better user engagement, better profitability, better margins, et cetera, down the line.
Yeah, really interesting and a really kind of specific example of how kind of automation and perhaps AI, really helps. And if I were to take this topic onto a kind of wider scale, you guys did it before it was cool, but obviously AI and automation are a very hot topic right now. In general, how much and kind of how quickly are, I guess, automation and AI more generally changing the casino industry right now?
It's funny because I think any of us that sit on this side of the fence want it to move faster.
Mm,
There certainly is sometimes you run into some resistance for various reasons, whether it's regulatory, whether it's just the internal stakeholders not convinced that AI can do it, better than them. But what AI has helped the casino market take off is understanding that there are potentially new ways to do and think about business. Whereas before, the old way that I knew from my 30 years of training was sort of the only way to do it.
mhm,
Uh, but we've taken to slots teams as an example. We've taken, um, here's some games that don't exist on your floor that through our AI models, we know are going to crush it at your floor because we know the games that your players like to play on your casino floor. And this game has a very similar player base in other observed markets. And slot customers are now not having to fly blind when making decisions on which products to bring to their floor. We're helping them optimize their floors. Which locations should these games go in? What are the configurations that this game should be set up at to optimize um, both the slot revenue and the player experience? We talked about the AI models delivering revenue for VIP. Even things such as as an event manager, if I'm building an event, my main goal for the event as the event manager is to make that event as profitable as possible in most cases. In some cases, certainly that might not be true, but in cases where I want to maximize the profitability and the revenue of any given event, why not invite people that not only have a high historical value, but let's invite people that maybe don't have the high historical value, but they do have a predicted high future value for that particular day. And so those are the kinds of things we're seeing some traction on, but it's a slow process. It's a lot of let's make sure one or two of these AI recommendations work before we jump in with both feet into the AI world.
mm.
Um, I'm eager to get there. I'm eager to have a lot more AI adoption, but we're taking it at the pace of the operators. If they're not comfortable with it, we're not I'm not here to be a salesman on AI. I want to use it to help them, but if they don't want to use it, um, certainly we're just going to slowly chip away at it.
Sure, sure. A really, really interesting discussion so far, and I always like to end looking ahead. And I think that that last part's a nice segue into to ask you Optics' plans and goals for the for the rest of this year at least, and maybe beyond that. Because as you say, a really interesting point that you're not a salesman for AI. Ultimately, you want what's best for the operators, and yeah, as you say, there's kind of regulatory considerations, what the operator wants, and what you know you can supply. So bearing all that in mind, what can we look forward to for the rest of the year and kind of beyond?
Yeah, it all lines up with the ultimate goal of delivering software that helps operators be more efficient and more mindful and have more meaningful interactions. For 2024, what we're really focused on is the ability to create automations and integrations. We want to sit at the intersection of AI and automation, where our models can predict things, and then we can set up automations based on those predictions to deliver tasks, deliver reports in some cases, and even deliver messages directly to the customer, whether that's coming as a mass marketing communication or from a host. We're really focused on that type of approach this year. Imagine a scenario where a slot manager is taking out a particular slot machine, and our AI models are predicting that we're going to lose a certain set of players as a result of that, or certainly see a decline in their behavior as a result of that. Why shouldn't we automate the communication to those players and recommend a brand new game that they've never played before? Those are all things that Optics has in its tool belt right now as um, and as we move forward in 2024, being able to automate the communication between those things is, sort of where we want to head. So that's really the not narrow focus. That's really the broad focus for 2024 as it, and, making sure it fits into what our mission statement is as a software company overall. And it's certainly intersection of automation and AI certainly fits right into that mold.
Yeah, to me, what I take from that, I guess it sounds like a new frontier, but one step at a time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and then the customers that don't want to use the AI, we're still going to have automation tools where they can do their manual processes without the intervention of AI. But for our customers that are fully ready to adopt, I really do think it's a new frontier of how to think about your business, how to talk to your customers, how to plan your floors. It's all right there, and as you mentioned, Optics has been working on it since before it was cool, but it's starting to be cool now, and we're here, and we have some of these tools available for our customers right now.
Brilliant. Well, Brian, thank you very much for your time and best of luck with everything this year and beyond.
Thanks, Tim. Nice talking to you.
Thank you likewise. And to our viewers, thanks for watching as well.